Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We are starting. We're going live already, and we're just trying to put everything in order, and then we go live. So, good afternoon, everybody. We are going to be starting the Microsoft Excel for beginners, and then, of course, now maybe you are joining this live session for the first time. This is the 5th session of the Microsoft Excel, so you need to catch up with the first, second, third, fourth in my YouTube channel. It's a whole lot of package that is going to change your career. I mean, get you started in Excel as a beginner. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, go to the live session. You will see all the complete package. Take your time to watch them after the order. So we're going to be having a very, very nice session together. Okay. So let's go into the Excel sheet today as we look at so I'm trying to set up everything so that we just get started. We are ready to go. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at the text function. We're going to be looking at date function. We're going to be looking at the page setup in Excel. And of course, we're going to be working with names. We're going to understand how to create names in Excel. We're going to also understand sorting data in Excel. And we're also going to talk about using the filter to filter our data in Excel. Okay, feel free to ask questions in the comment section. Feel free to so that I do not just be a one-man show. So let's make it lively. As you join, in case you have a question, why not put your question there and let's look at it together. All right. So we are going to start with the text function. Text function. Now there are quite a number of functions that we have under Excel that are called text function. We are going to look at some in this particular session. We are going to look at the concatenate. We are going to look at the upper. We're going to look at the lower. We are going to look at the proper function. We are going to look at the left, the right, the mid. These are some of the functions that solve some of the problems that come to our mind in the process of work. Okay, so when we have challenges during work, these are some of the things that will really go a long way to solve problems for us. For instance, let me start with, so I'm not going to take them in the order they are, so I'll just take them in no particular order. Now, let's say that we have list of names. Okay. And these names are written in lowercase. Okay. Okay. So let's say this is the first name. Let's say this is the surname. Now these names are written in lowercase. You can in Excel there is no tool here that you can just select to change case. This one increases font size, this one decreases, this one's color, okay, and this one will color the cell. There is in Excel, you don't have this particular tool that can change case. So what you use is a text function. So if I want to change all these names to capital letter, I will use upper equals upper, that is uppercase. Then I will select the text, close the bracket, and hit the enter key. Okay, close the bracket and hit the enter key. So now you see that this name has been so if I drag it relatively to this side, you will see that it also provides for this. Okay, so that's surname, first name being changed by. So what you need to do for others is just select like this and drag your mouse button downward, and then you provide for others. Okay, so this way you have changed the case from lowercase to the uppercase. As you can see, you've changed from the lowercase to the uppercase. So, but let's say that's not what you wanted. You want the first letter to be in uppercase, while the what do you call it now? The others are in lower. Yes, why not? You still have options for it. So I will remove this. So you can do. So how did we do the uppercase? The function is equal sign, upper, and then you select your cell. Maybe your cell is E3. You select. Okay, that is for upper. But if you are trying to change the first letter to capital, you use equal sign proper. Proper. Use equal sign proper. So equals proper, you select your text and close the bracket and hit the enter key. So with this now, you have the first letter capitalized, and I dragged to the right, and then it copied the formula towards the right. And then we can now take this downward. We can take it downward, and you're going to see that the entire names have been provided. Have been changed from the lowercase to proper. So proper equals proper, maybe E3. So this is not a range function. It's a cell at a time, not a range. It's a cell at a time. So you only pick the cell. You don't pick range. Okay? You only pick a cell, you don't pick range. Good. And then you can now copy the formula downward to affect others. So now, let's say the text were in uppercase, like you have this already in uppercase, and you want to bring it down to lowercase, then you will do equals lower. Now, functions are not case sensitive. So whether you are typing your function in lowercase or you are typing your function in uppercase, I mean the function name, the function lower, it doesn't matter. But just for visibility, that's why I'm doing it in uppercase. So you can see that it changed the, can you see that? It changed it from uppercase to lowercase. So to use the lowercase, you just simply put equals lower and then you select your cell. Okay? So if you are dealing with a set of values, a long range of value, then you will just drag to cover every other. That's all. You just drag it to cover every other name. That is to copy the formula downwards, just like what I did here. So I did only one. So this is what I did. I did only one. That is equals proper. And then got that. Then copied, drag from the left. So I pointed my mouse button to the edge here and drag to the right. And then from right downwards to cover every other person. Excel is fun. The one interesting thing about Excel is you just create your formula and drag. That's all. Okay? You drag and you enjoy dragging to other cells. So that is for upper, lower, proper. Okay. Now, let's say, so I want to look at concatenate. So let's say these names, you are to join them together into full name. You have to join them together to form full name. So how do you do that? You have to join these together to form a full name. So what you do is you go equal sign, then from equals you go concatenate. So I will use uppercase, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I'll use concatenate. Concatenate. Such a long name. So concatenate joint text. So once you type it, you take the first text. That's the first of the text you want to join. Then you put a comma, and then you click the second text. And then you close your bracket and hit the enter key. Now, you will notice that the names were joined together and there's no space. Yes. So the text function will help you to join text. And so you need to define the text when you are joining. You need to also add a space in between. So what you do is, after you have taken the first text, you put a comma, then you put inverted comma twice. You put that, then you put a comma. So that means you have joined text number 1 with a space and text number 2. So the space, you put the space in between the inverted comma. So the space will be in between the inverted comma. So as you can see now, equals concatenate, G3 space. So put inverted comma, put a space, that is press space bar once. Then close the inverted comma, put a comma, and then the second text. So with this, you have successfully joined the text into, so you can just copy down, as you can see, and now have full name. Full name. So handling your worksheets can be very interesting when you have the power of functions in your hand. You have the power of function, so you are able to use function adequately to manipulate and of course get your result. So that is concatenate. Concatenate. So the concatenate function will help us to join text. So the way you use it is equals concatenate. You pick the first, but in a situation whereby the text you are joining does not really need what do you call it now? Does not really need space. You don't need to add space in between. So because sometimes maybe you are trying to join batch code, um, key code, or whatever kind of code for your data. Maybe it is machine code, maybe it has a prefix and a suffix and all those stuff, or maybe even it's even a dash. So if it's a dash, you will put the dash in between the inverted comma. Okay, so whatever it is that is that you want to use to join as the the whatever parameter you are using, you need to put it in between. That's called delimiter. So the delimiter that you are using to join will be placed in between. Okay, so that's just for us to understand. Now let's go to the next one, which is, so we have seen concatenate. Now let's see left function. So there are times when you have maybe product code, for instance. Maybe you have product code and you have batch, no, sorry, let's just say product code. And then this product code come as ASD dash maybe something like this, and then another one EDE dash maybe something like this. Maybe another one has RID dash maybe something like this. Now you are interested in, and this product code is a combination of two codes. You know, I've seen this type of thing in organization. So maybe these product codes are a combination of two codes. Then you are interested in one part of the code. So you can use the left function to get to the left or to the right. So let's take to the left. So we are taking the text function. You will start with your text. All right. You pick your text, then you put comma, then number of characters to the left, 3. Okay. So you extract the first code to the left. That is using equals left. You see, you pick the text, which is E16, then the number of characters to the left. Okay, so that will give you the 3 characters to the left. Now, So that is left. So now let's say you want to pick the characters to the right. Then you will say equal sign right. So you pick the text. So how many characters are you picking to the right? Let's say 6. You close the bracket and you hit the enter key. So this takes 6 characters to the right. So as it is now, you have been able to capture the characters to the right and then your characters to the left. Okay. So so I hope we're getting something. So now this text function is very, very useful for managing our text, handling our text, making different decisions on text. We have quite a lot of videos on text functions also extensively in my YouTube channel. I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Okay? Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and then so that you can catch up with other videos. I know a lot of people watching are subscribers, but there are some people, they don't just don't know, carry hand subscribe. So sometimes I feel like, is this doing you nothing than good? Good to me, good to you. Good to me because you are helping the channel to grow. You are encouraging me to do more. Good to you because as I drop these things, you are expanding your knowledge. You are expanding yourself. So subscribe. All right. So let's go. Now let's look at the mid function. This one would take values from the middle. Okay? This one will take values from the middle. Okay? So it takes value from the middle, the midpoint. That is what the mid function does. It takes value from the middle. Now, so let's say mid. So I want to pick, let's assume that the first three characters, of the values of the numbers in the product code also means something else. Because code is a way of batching or determining process. Okay, so I've seen people not understanding how to use code, but you see, everything in code means something. So you batch process, you define process, you itemize some certain things, you are referring to some certain things, you are actually using code to define those things. So now the mid will pick the value from the middle. Okay? We'll pick the value from the middle. So now the first thing that the mid function will take from you is the text. You will provide the text. That means you will click on the text you want to calculate mid for. Okay? So you will pick the text. The text is in E16. Then you put a comma. All right? You put a comma. And then your start number. Your start number says, where are you starting from? If you start counting from the left. So you can say start from 4. Let's see how starting from 4 we get. So then how many characters do you want me to take? Take 3 characters. take 3 characters. So, okay, so start from 5. Let's start from 5. We don't want to start from 4. Let's start from 5. Yes. Because if I start from 4, is I omitted this dash. I wasn't looking at this dash. So um, you start from the 5th character. So it starts counting from the left, the first character, the second character, the third character, then the dash. That's the 4th character. Then the number 6, which is the 5th character. So with that selection, then you now say, okay, how many do you want to extract? How many? You extract 3. And so the mid function will extract 3 values for us from the middle. So we have seen the left function, which takes 3 characters from the left for us. We have seen the right function, which takes 6 characters from the right. 6 characters from the right. And then we've seen the mid function, which takes 3 characters from the middle. But you see, because it's a mid function, it is logical to provide the mid function where you are starting from. What is the text? That's the first thing. What is the text? Where are you starting from? And how many are the number of characters you want to extract? Okay? So that's very important. Very, very important. Okay. So this is about the text function, and we have successfully completed these ones that we want to cover. The concatenate, the upper, the lower, the proper, the left, the right, and the mid function. Now we're going to move to the next one, which is the date function. So the text function, we said we'll learn how to manipulate and format our text effectively. So this one, we're going to talk about dates, how to work with different dates and calculations. Okay. So this is text function. So now going to date functions. All right. So let's talk about date function. And in date function here, we are going to talk about today function. Today. We have today. We have now. We have EO month. We have let's say year, month. We use the year, we use the month function, we use the net work day. We'll look at that. We also look at the work day, and then possibly the weekday. So we see how this thing applies to our task. So anytime you're trying to display today's date, you go with equals today. Equals today does not have a parameter inside. It's just equals today. That's all. Then you press the enter key. It gives you the date, the current date. And then of course it's going to be according to your system's calendar setting. So that's why if you are setting your system, if you are in America, you can have it like this. But if you are in United Kingdom, UK, or other areas, then you should, set your system watch to the United Kingdom setting. So it will come with day first, then followed by month, then followed by year. So the today function will give you the today's date. Now, let's say somebody asks, okay, what about if I want it to give me tomorrow's date? All you just need to do is today plus 1. Today plus 1 will give you tomorrow's date. Okay? Then what about yesterday? Yesterday is today minus 1. That is yesterday's date. Okay? That's yesterday's date. So, um, 10 days ahead is today plus 10. That's all. So, yesterday plus 10, today's plus 10 is, 10 days ahead. 10 days before is today minus 10. Okay, as you can see. So handling date can be very, very easy in Excel if you understand the mathematics of it. Okay, so if it is just today, then there's no need for minus or plus. But if you're trying to say day before, day ahead, then you use this. Okay, then if you are trying to produce both current date and current time, you use the now function. That gives you the very, 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 very current, both date and time. Both date and time. Okay? So, now, the now function gives you date and time. So it helps. So you can, one thing about these functions is that you can display them at the top of your worksheet, and for every day, it will update. If you use for instance, if you use the today function, every day it updates to the current day. Every day it shows you the current day. So you can even use it to be a kind of a way in your worksheet where you are comparing the date with the due date, the current date with the due date, the current date with the due date. So I hope you grab that idea. So especially when you are trying to know how many days left from the current date and the due date. So you can use the now function. The EO month is the end of month function. So when you put EO month, you have a start date first. So maybe this date is your start date. Then you pick a date. You pick a date as your start date. Okay? Then if it is for this particular month, then you put 0. That is, give me the date of the end of the month. So this formatting, you can always do that. Change it to date. Okay, if it shows serial number, just change it to date. Okay, so now look at it. This is the end of the month. So if you are trying to produce end of the month date from where you are, from the date where you have selected, that is EO month, end of month. So you have the start date and the current month. But if it is the end of the month of the next month, you put 1. That's the end of March. Put 2, that's the end of April. Okay, put 3, that's the end of May. Don't forget, the 3 does not mean month 5. It means from where you are. All right? It means from the date you are, 3 months ahead from the date you are. So it's not. So don't confuse the 3 with is it month 5, month 6, month 7? No, it's from the current date. So sometimes I do this. I will do equals EO month. Then inside I'll put today function. That's to capture today's date as the start date. the start date, I will use it. Then I will now put the month, whether it's the current month. And I still get the same thing. So this formatting issue, just change it to short date or long date. Depends on what you want. So, so as you can see, logically, I put today's function to represent the start date. Okay, right? So now, let's say you have some series of dates. So let's come to this place. I'm going to paste that as a value. Paste value, change the formatting to date. Now, let's say I drag this date downwards. Let's say up to this point. So, date, maybe invoice date or something like that. Okay, so let's say this is invoice date. So I want to say end of so the invoice will go for 30 days. No, the invoice will always be towards, let's say the rule is the invoice will be due by end of the month from the issue date. Okay, it may not be a rule, but just for the purpose of learning how this thing works. So if I use the EO month function, I will pick my start date. Then I will now say from the particular date. Okay, so let me format all this place. Let me format it as date. Okay. So now, with this, I have the end of the month of each of. So I'll copy this down. I'll copy this for every other date. So you can see that for every month of the invoice, there is the end of the month. For every. So end of the month. So now let's say you want to find out this minus this, then it tells you how many days from that date. Okay, how many days you have. So you can see that this one is just a day. This one, 0 day, 0 number of days. Okay, so numbers of days. So you can always use it for your own, how do I put it down? For your own peculiar environment. But I'm just giving you an idea of how these date functions work. Okay? How they work. I mean, how you apply them into your task. So that's for EO month. Now let's say you are trying to, from this worksheet, you are trying to, maybe your worksheet covers more than a single year. You are trying to extract year from your function. You can use the equals year and from your date, sorry. You are extracting year from the date. You can extract the year. As you can see, the year. And so if this year is different, then you have the 2026, 2024 or thereabout there. And then if you want to extract month from the date, you can also have equals month. So these functions are not case sensitive. So this one is saying month 2. month 2, month 3, month 4. As you can see, good. So you can always extract um, so this particular one is different because I did this because somebody will be saying so that means I will just put date. Okay, so what you do is this, not date. What you do is you put day. Okay, so that's just to um, simplify what's in your mind. So you now select. So don't use date, use day. So this one will give you the the date. So so you can see that we have the date, the end of the month, the number of days between them, the year, and you see that the month and the date. Now, so let me call this day. Call this day. So now, this function called date, the work of this function, there's a function that is called date, is in a situation whereby you have your date arranged like this. Maybe in a particular worksheet, you have a split of because these things. Somebody may say, why do we have dates separated like this? There are times when you deal with individual data for summary. You deal with the day, you deal with the month, you deal with the year separately. But in a situation where you want to join them, if you want to join them back, you use this date function. So this one picks year, comma, picks month, comma, picks day, and this joins them back. Okay, so that's the work of this date. So, but if you are trying to split your dates out into year, month, and day for the purpose of maybe analysis, financial statements, blah blah blah, and all those other tasks that requires this thing, why not? You can um, split them out and use. Then, when if you want to join, you use that. So let's say they are already split, and you want to join them back. So you use the date um, function. So so that that. So I advise you go to the channel and watch these things over and over just to help you to practice. Okay, I may not, because it's not a normal class session where you say, okay, hold on, come and show me this, that. But the advantage of a recorded session like this is the fact that you can always, go back and watch. Okay, so I want to encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share with your friends, invite your friends also to subscribe. I mean, quite a lot of things will be happening here. Quite a lot. Power BI is coming, Python data analytics, and all those things they are coming. At least I will be starting each of them at beginners level. How to use Outlook is coming. How to use OneNote is coming. How to use SharePoint, in your office environment is coming. All these things are coming. We're going to be doing them um, live, and they are all courses that would change your career. All right. So now so we have seen today, we have seen now, we've seen year, we've seen month. Uh, so today's date, now end of month, year, month. We also added day and date. So you can see that I've added two. I added date, I added date function, I added day. Okay. So now we are going to net work days. Work day, weekday. So the weekday function. weekday. So if you put equal sign, the weekday returns the weekday within a month in a date. Okay, that's just weekday. So I like using my function in uppercase, but like I said, it doesn't really mean anything. So your serial will always be your date. Okay, just pick your date and hit enter. So this tells you that this particular um, date is from how many weeks do we have in a year. So you count the number of weeks in a year, and this actually talks about which week does that fall into in the calendar. Um, okay, so there's sorry. Not in the total number of weeks. That's this one. What I'm doing there is a mix of it. This is what I want to do actually. So there are seven um, 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 days. There are 7 days in a week. Okay, there are 7 days in a week. So in that week, when you are counting from 1 to 7, if you want to know which of the weekday of that particular day in the week does that day fall into, you use the weekday function. So what this one is saying is that this particular day in the week of that month, that particular week is the fifth day, while this one is the first day in the week. So you are able to use the weekday function to know which particular day of the week does a particular um, date fall into in the week. 1 to 7 days, 1 to 7 days. And so when I mean 1 to 7, I mean from Monday to Sunday or from Sunday to Monday. So that's the weekday. Okay? So that's the weekday. It helps you to know. And for people who are doing analysis, this is one of the very powerful tools that you use in analysis to know which day of the week does a particular day fall into. Which day of the week does a particular day fall into? I mean, this helps a lot. Okay. So now we're going to look at the next work. So we have seen the weekday. So now let's look at the next work day. So net work day, as the name implies, finds the number of days net work. That's it. That is the net of the work day. It means that a date that that excludes some days, maybe some holidays, maybe weekends, depends on the pattern of what you call weekend in your environment. So let's say the start date of a work is today. So I'm just playing with the today function. And the end day is maybe 30 days from the start date. Okay? Maybe 30 days from the start date. That is when this person will start the work today. He will finish it in 30 days time. Okay? So you want to find out the net work day. Net work day. So let's see. Net work days. Okay. I was saying that I missed something. So the network days would take two parameters or three from you. It will take date, start date. It will take end date. Then if you have holidays, which is optional, you build it. The holidays means you will have typed some dates that are to be seen as holidays. All you just do is highlight those dates. Okay, you select those dates. So this is saying that there are 22 work days. Now, I added 30 days to this, but this is showing 22. And the question is why? This particular function excluded the weekends and possibilities of holidays in America, because this network day, the network day function, is built for America. Okay, it's built for United States. This one. But if you want to do the one that is international, you will put .intl. That is network days .intl. Now, this one will help you to define the first thing, the start date, the second thing, the end date, then your weekend. You will say, what are your weekends? So you need to tell it whether your weekends is Saturday and Sunday, or maybe in your country or where you are is Wednesday and Thursday, or maybe it's only Sunday that they recognize there, or maybe it's Friday and Saturday. So you will pick what is your weekend in terms of value. And then if you have holidays, the same way you build. So now, because the weekend is the same way with America, that's why you still have 22. So net work days removes the work days minus also the weekends. All right? So that's net work days. But let's say you are dealing with work day now. So this will always show text. You just come, number format, change it to date. So now, for the work day also come as national for United States and international. Okay, that is wow. Work day. Work day does not have S. It's work day. Work day. Net work days. Work day. Now, the work day parameter is different. Okay? Work day means start date. If you want to use the work day function, you have the start date and the number of days to work. So if the number of days to work is 34, so I'm going to change this back to general. So the start day, the number of days to work, 23 for this, 45 for this person, 33 days for this person. So now, if this person want to know when this person's day will, the end date, you will now do what? End date. So you can see how workday function works. So you have the start day, You know how many days. The next work day is for you to this can be used for project management also. This one means that you know the start date, you know the end days, but you want to know how many days excluding the weekends. Okay? And if there are no weekends, use the INTL to determine it. Okay? Use the INTL to determine it. Of course, by the time you are doing this session, you will see what the weekends represent and look at it. You see what Friday only and all those stuff. But this function assumes that you must have a day off. So it may not be weekend, it may be day off. You can also use it logically for day off. Do you understand? A situation whereby some people work from Monday to Sunday, but they use Wednesday as day off. So you will pick that weekend day as the day off. All right. So end date is what you want to find out. So you say equals work day. So I say work day has international. So you have the start day and then the number of days. That's all. So this will give you the dates. You will format it. So this is the serial number for date. So you can format it back into short date. So this now tells us that this person, if he works for 34 days, excluding weekends and other things, is going to finish April 2nd. This person is going to finish March 3rd. This person is going to finish. So this may not even be for work per se. It can also be for invoice. Okay? It can be for invoice. The date that the invoice was issued, the number of days for the invoice, and when it will due. Okay? Okay, so you can always do this. You can also use this. You can use it for the invoice date, number of days for invoice, then the due date. Okay? So you can use it like that also. So you use the work day. But don't forget, if you use this, then it is going to remove weekends. But so let's say your invoice includes weekend. So what are you going to do? If your invoice includes weekend, what are you going to do? Can I give it as an assignment? Oh, beautiful. So what you really need to do is know how many days. Know how many days are those weekends within the date. That means you need to calculate how many weekends. So if your invoice does not exclude, that's if you are dealing with invoice and it doesn't exclude. So you will now say plus maybe there are 4 Saturdays and Sundays. That makes 8 days. So just add it back. That's all. Add it back. Add those days back. That's what you do. Okay? So if you are dealing with invoice that does not exclude, I'm saying if you are using this thing for invoice and doesn't exclude the weekends, you count it as part of the invoice. But if it excludes weekend, don't add any day back. Okay? So that is for the net work days and the work day. Beautiful. I hope we are doing well. We're doing well. We're doing well. We're doing well. We're doing well. So give me a like. Give me a like. I mean, don't let my like session be empty. Give me a like. It's a feedback for me too. Anyway, it's a feedback. So like, share, and subscribe. It's a way of giving a very, very good feedback to me. Working with names. This one is very simple. Working with names. In Excel, you can use names instead of cell reference to do your calculations. And so what does that mean? Let's say you have two values here. So this is going to be very straightforward. You want to add these two values. This plus this. Okay, that's how to add. But let's say you want to name them. You can come to this name box here. You come to the name box here. And then you name this maybe Lagos value. You press enter. The name box is at the edge here, where my mouse button is. And then you come to this place. Maybe this is Abuja. Press enter. So in your calculation, you want to use values, names. So, and the advantage of this is that you can be in any worksheet and you will use the names in your calculation. So you can see, because I named this one, I named this as Lagos, I named this. So where did I name? I come to this place. I selected this text, I come to this place, I type the name and press enter. Come to this place, selected the text, come to the edge here, type Abuja, I press enter. It's as simple as that. So I said the beauty of it is that you can be in any worksheet within your workbook and just produce the name. So let me practicalize it. So I'm in a new worksheet now. And with just equal sign, Abuja plus Lagos, I get my answer. And this is where I created the name. This is where the values are. But with name, I can do it. And another thing is that you can name range. You can name range. You can select all these ones like this. Come to the name box and say maybe sales. You select everything. Come to the name box on the edge. Type sales, press enter. Okay? Press enter. So now, if I want to sum everything, I will just say equal sum sales. That's all. I don't need to repeat to select the range again. It's just the name that I have used. Okay? And what it also means is I can come to another worksheet, sum all those values by just using their names, their group name, and it will sum. So like that, you can sum a worksheet across from one sheet to the other without even without even moving the values from sheet to sheet. Okay, so that is working with names. Good. Now let me quickly look at sorting and filtering as we round up. So I want to use this data. So these are what we have done in the previous sessions. So in case you miss all these things, go to the YouTube channel and then subscribe and find all the sessions. They are in sessions. Go to the live sessions. You will see all the information. And then, so you can always catch up. So I'm going to copy this text. I want to use this. But I'm going to remove the formatting for my own task. Okay. Wow. Disappeared. Copy. Excel, once you do something else while in the process, so I'll come to editing and I'll clear all the formats. So that's how to clear formats. And the implication is that my date format will also be cleared. So I can always change that to date. Okay. So I want to use this to sort, to learn sorting and also for filtering. So we start with sort. And I'm just going to do this sort in a very simple way since we are doing for beginners. So that you will just get started in case this is your first time of learning how to sort. So I encourage you to like this video, this things, I can see very few likes. Like it, like it, like it. Let's have likes here and there. Increase the likes, or you don't like it. Like it now. If you like me, like it. All right, so let's continue. So sorting means that you arrange your text in a particular order, either ascending or descending. The easiest way to sort is just put your cursor at the top of the cell or the column where you want to sort and go to the data tab, and you see this A to Z under sort and filter in the middle. This A to Z, just click on it. That's all. It will sort ascending. And if you are trying to sort descending, you just use Z to A and it will pick from down to up. Okay? If you want to return it back, if you have anything like numbering, you can use the numbering to or serial number to return it back, or just undo. So but I encourage you that you should make a duplicate copy of your original data before you start doing sorting and sorting and sorting, because you might have gone so deep in your sorting that you start having issue returning your data to the original state. So you can sort. Why is 2 missing here? Maybe I copied a filtered version of data. That's why. I copied a filtered version. Let me go and see. Okay, so this must have been a filtered. Yes, it's a filtered. So I clear filter. That's one thing about text. So when I was copying this text, I actually copied the filtered version. So I'll copy this, go back to where I'm doing sorting, paste, and remove clear format so that it will be there, and then change my date settings back to date. So okay, so now so this is well this is complete. Okay, so sorry, give me a minute. I want to have a change of power source. Just a minute. Okay, welcome back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. We are in an environment where they can just seize the power at any time. Okay. I hope we are together. All right, so we are doing sorting. We want to look at how to sort. We want to look at how to sort our data. Okay. So, and I said the simple way to sort your data is just go to the top of the header. Let's say I want to sort by amount. Okay. So you now go to data tab on your Excel and look at this A to Z. That will be from lowest number, lowest amount to higher amount, or Z to A, that will be from higher number to lower number, from higher number to lower number. So you can always sort ascending or descending. Okay. But if you want to expand your sorting, I have a complete video on sorting and filtering. So just look for it in my YouTube channel, subscribe, and then you'll find a comprehensive session on sorting and filtering, where I expanded the knowledge. So why not? You can go there and find it. So, but for there, just to get you started, like the intention of this training is for especially those who are struggling with some certain things. Get started, get started. Get started, kick start. No delay, no delay. All right, so that's it. So you can see we have so I can sort by product, and then so place your cursor at the top of the cell where you want to sort. And don't forget, you don't sort everything like this, because whatever you sort must go with its data. So that's why you just place where you want to sort by. There's always a section where you want to sort by. So that's where you want to use. So you can't use everything at the same time. It will not even make any logical sense. All right? It won't make any logical sense. So if you are sorting by a particular header. So let's say you want to sort by country. You place your cursor at the top of that on the country and just use your criteria, maybe ascending A to Z or descending Z to A. Okay. So that is sorting. Then the next one, so let me just sort here, okay, and leave this. The next one, and which is the last one in this training, is filtering. So this training is coming to an end. I have a complete package of the intermediate and advanced Excel video course, where I have taught all these things, including the beginners. But since you have attended the beginners here, you can buy the intermediate to take yourself to the next level, and the advanced. You buy the course, you learn at your pace. It's just the intermediate is just 10,000, the advanced is just 15. But if you are buying the two together, I'll give you for 20. And you learn at your pace. All you just do is you are given a login and a link to the learning management platform of my company. I'm the teacher there, and you are learning from the master himself. So you can always buy those courses and learn at your pace. You keep watching, especially when you are done with this and you are comfortable. This particular one, I've done session 1 to 5. This is 5th session. And do you know what that means? Each of the session is almost about an hour. Each of this session is about an hour. I mean, such a beautiful experience. So it means I have spent about 5 hours. Wow. About 5 hours, extending knowledge. All right. So I want to encourage you to watch them and then buy the other ones too. Okay. Extend your knowledge. Now let me round up with the filter. How to filter. So let me first return this back to its original state. Now, filtering data in Excel is very simple. Just place your cursor at the top, come to the data tab and select filter. You see this filter option. Then at the top of each header, you will see a drop down. So let's say you want to filter out by product. So filtering means you are bringing out what you want to see. Sorting is you are arranging them in the particular order. So for the purpose of maybe managing the data effectively, you can arrange it in a particular, that's the sorting. But filtering means you are bringing out what you want to see and what you want to work on. So maybe you want to see only Apple. You select this drop down at the top of product. Then you will see select, or you will deselect and select only Apple. Then you click OK. You see that all items here are Apple. Okay, and if you apply the total at the bottom, if you apply the total, it's also going to give you the total sales of all Apple. You can come here and say, okay, I don't want Apple, I want carrots. And then you can see all carrots, including the total sales of carrots. Or you say you want to see carrots from only United States. So you come to the top of the arrow on United States, you click, you drop it down, you select United States, and you will see carrots from United States. Okay? So as you can see, you can also say, okay, I want carrot and apple from United States. So this one will give you carrot, and you can still sort it. You can still sort it and say, okay, apple will start first, carrot will follow. That is apple and carrot from United States. And you may want to change it and say, okay, it's not from United States, I want to see from United Kingdom, and then you will see apple and carrots from United Kingdom. Okay, so you can sort it, and then you will see it's counting the number. So this one is because a table option was used for this. So if I remove the table, you will not see all this. Okay, so if you want to understand the table option, watch one of the previous sessions where I taught how to create a table in Excel. Okay, so we have done so good. We've done so good. This is where we are calling it off. Thank you for participating. Thank you for attending. All right. So subscribe to the channel to see more. Like I said, more is coming. Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft OneNote, Microsoft SharePoint, the Power BI, Python data analysis, SQL. All these are coming. At least to get you started. Beginners level, get you started. All right. So you may reach me on this number, 080 230 72661. If you are from outside the country, you put +234. You put +234 80 230 72661. So if you have questions, you can chat me on WhatsApp using that number. +234 80 230 72661. Chat me if you want to buy the advanced and the intermediate level, or even the beginner if you want. They are all there. In the beginner's level is 10,000, the intermediate is 10, the advanced is 15 in my own currency. Okay? So maybe if you are outside the country. All right. So that is where we are stopping.